Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are good. Students, our today's topic is mean deviation about mean for group data, for the absolute measure of dispersion, and of course for the relative measure of dispersion. So what is mean deviation about mean? For absolute measure of dispersion, it is the mean of absolute difference between the numerical values and the mean. Students, the formula is summation f with the absolute sign x minus mean divided by summation f. Whenever you have given the data, you need to find out mean first. Let's suppose the data is class interval and the frequencies is given. So first of all, you need to find out the mean of the group frequency distribution. The formula of mean is summation fx upon summation f. So you need to find out the two column, that is x and fx. X means the midpoint. This x is represented as the midpoint. How do you find out? Add the class interval and divide it by 2. Means 15 plus 19 divided by 2. 34 divided by 2, the answer is 17. 20 plus 24 and the answer divided by 2. Yani 20 plus 24, that is 42, and 42 divided by 2, the answer is 22. And you have to find out the midpoint same. Okay, now find out fx. How to find out the fx? Fx means this midpoint and multiply by frequency. So every corresponding midpoint and frequency should be multiplied. 17 multiplied by 3, 51. 20 multiplied by 5, 110. 8 multiplied by 27, 216, and so on. After that, summation fx. When you add all these numbers, you will get 1201. And for the mean, you need to divide it by summation fx upon summation f. 1201 divided by 38. How do we get 38? You will check here. The sum is 38. So 1201 divided by 38, the answer is 31.60. After that, you find out mean deviation about mean. So you have to find out or construct two more columns. Means the absolute sign of x minus mean. X minus mean means we have find here mean, that is 31.60. Each and every mean midpoint minus 31.60. And if you have get the answer in negative, definitely with due to this absolute sign, you will get or consider the answer with positive sign. 22 minus 31.60, the answer is minus 9.6, but you consider as positive due to the modulus sign. After that, f multiply by this column, and when you multiply f, that is 3 multiplied by 14.6, 43.8. 5 multiplied by 9.6, 48. 8 multiplied by 4.6, and so on. And in the last, you will add all these values. When you add all these values, you will get 257.4. And the formula is summation f into x minus mean divided by summation f. 257.4 divided by 38, the answer is 6.77. This is the mean deviation about mean for absolute measure of dispersion. For the relative measure of dispersion, we have the formula coefficient of mean deviation for mean equals to mean deviation about mean divided by mean multiplied by 100. So 6.77 divided by 31.60 multiplied by 100. So the answer will be 21.424%. Student, this is our today's lecture. I hope you will get it how to find out the absolute measure of dispersion and the relative measure of dispersion. Mean deviation about median for group data. So right now we are discussing here absolute measure of dispersion. For absolute measure of dispersion, the formula of mean deviation about median is equal to the sum of the product of frequency and the absolute difference of midpoint and the median divided by summation f. Students, whenever you need to calculate mean deviation about median, so first of all you have to find out the value of median. Let's suppose this is the data, and we know that the formula of median is L plus H upon F, into summation f upon 2 minus cumulative frequency. Students, according to this formula, this is represented as lower class boundary. Okay, so it means you need to calculate the column of class boundary and construct the column of cumulative frequency in the next table. So class interval, frequency, class boundary and cumulative frequency. I hope you know that how to find out the cumulative frequency. Students, the first frequency is always remain same as the cumulative frequency. Then the first and the second frequency should be added. So 3 plus 5 it is equals to 8. Then this 8 plus this 8 it is equals to 16. 16 plus 7 it is equals to 23. 23 plus 6 it is equals to 29. 29 plus 9 it is equals to 38. After that we know that the formula of median equals to L plus H upon F into summation F upon 2 minus cumulative frequency. So calculate the value of median. First we need to highlight the median group. For that purpose we need to find out the value of summation f upon 2, that is 38 upon 2, and it is equals to 19. Look at this value of 19 in the cumulative frequency column. Students, this 19 lies in this group. So this is known as your median group. After that, what you have to do, okay, now you have to find the value of lower class boundary, that is 29.5. F equals to 7. H equals to 30 minus 5, 30 minus 25, it is equals to 5. And this 16 is the cumulative frequency column. In the next step, we will put all the values in the formula of median. L plus H upon F into summation F upon 2 minus cumulative frequency. When you solve it, you will get the value of median, that is equals to 31.642. Students, after that you have to construct the column of summation F into modulus sign x minus median. How do you find out? First you calculate the column or construct the column of modulus sign x minus median, and then this value multiply with the frequency. So here we need to find out the midpoint. Student, frequency is given, class interval is here. Now this is the midpoint. How do we find out the value of midpoint? 15 plus 19 divided by 2, the answer is 34 upon 2, that is 17. 20 plus 24 divided by 2, 20 plus 24 is 44. 44 divided by 2 equals to 22. In the same way you will calculate all the values of midpoint. After that, each and every midpoint should be subtracted from median should be subtracted from each and every midpoint. Means 17 minus 31.642. The answer will be minus 14.642. Students, I have explained this earlier why we have right here positive, just because of this modulus sign. This modulus sign, if you get the answer in negative, then just because of this modulus sign the answer is considered as positive. So 22 minus 31.642, the answer is 9.642, and you will calculate all the values accordingly. After that, frequency multiply with the column of absolute x minus median. Means 3 multiplied by 14.642, the answer is 43.926. Then 5 multiplied by 9.642, and the answer is 48.21, and so on. We have find all the values here. When we add all these observations, we will get 257.142. Students, we know that the formula of mean deviation about median is equal to summation f into x minus median divided by summation f. So 257.148 divided by 38, we will get 6.767. The value of mean deviation about median equals to 6.67. 6.767. Okay, after that we have to find out the coefficient of dispersion or coefficient of mean deviation, which is known as a relative measure of dispersion. And we know that the formula is coefficient of mean deviation equals to mean deviation about median divided by median multiplied by 100. We have calculated the value of mean deviation about median is 6.767 divided by the value of median, that is 31.642 multiplied by 100. So you will get the value of coefficient of mean deviation is 21.386. Quartile deviation for group data. Students, what is quartile deviation? It is the half of the interquartile range. Now what is interquartile range? Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So the formula of quartile deviation is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Students, if you have given the data, class interval and the frequencies, so first of all you need to calculate Q3 and Q1. We know that the formula of Q3 is L plus H upon F into 3 summation F upon 4 minus cumulative frequency, and Q1 equals to L plus H upon F into summation F upon 4 minus cumulative frequency. Students, in my previous lecture I have explained you how to find out the class boundaries and cumulative frequency. So I have directly constructed these two columns, and now we will go towards to calculate the value of Q3. We know that the formula of Q3 is L plus H upon F into 3 summation F upon 4 minus cumulative frequency. Students, to find out the Q3 group, we first find out the value of this, means 3 multiplied by 38 upon 4, that is equals to 28.5. Now locate in the cumulative frequency column where lies 28.5. Student, 28.5 lies here. So this is our Q3 group. And now we find out this is the value of L, this is F, that is 6, H equals to 5, 35 minus 30 is 5, and the preceding cumulative frequency is cumulative frequency. Okay, now we put all the values in the formula. It would be 34.5 plus 5 upon 6 into 28.5 minus 23. When you solve it, you will get the value of Q3 is 39.083. Students, now we will go towards to find out the value of Q1. We know that the formula of Q1 is L plus H upon F into summation F upon 4 minus cumulative frequency. Students, to find out or locate the value of Q1, we need to find out summation F upon 4, that is 38 upon 4, and the value is 9.5. Now locate where lies 9.5. 9.5 lies in 16. So this is your Q1 group. Further 24.5. Acha, okay. Now how to find out? This is L, that is 24.5. H equals to 5. Acha, this is frequency and this is cumulative frequency. Put all the values in the formula of Q1. You will get 24.5 plus 5 upon 8 into 9.5 minus 8. When you find out all these values, you will get the value of Q1 is 25.4375. Now we put the value of Q3 and Q1 in the quartile deviation formula, as quartile deviation equals to Q3 minus Q1 upon 2. So it will be 39.083 minus 25.4375 divided by 2. It will be 13.6455 divided by 2. So the value of quartile deviation equals to 6.822. Now students, we are going to find out the relative measure of dispersion for quartile deviation, or we can say that coefficient of dispersion. Coefficient of quartile deviation equals to Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1 multiplied by 100. 39.083 minus 25.4375 multiplied by 100 divided by 39.083 plus 25.4375. When you solve it, you will get the value of coefficient of quartile deviation or coefficient of dispersion is 21.1476. Variance for group data. Students, as you know that variance is the expectation of a square of difference between the observations and the mean. The formula of variance for group data is sigma square equals to summation f into x minus x bar whole square upon summation f. Students, let's suppose we have the data, class interval and frequencies are given. So first of all, you have to find out the mean. The formula of mean is summation fx divided by summation f. It means we need to construct the column of x means midpoint and the column of fx the product of frequency and the midpoint. So in the next slide I will show you how to find out or construct the different column f, x and fx. How to find out x, students? 15 plus 19, lower class interval plus upper class interval, and the answer should be divided by 2. If you have written like 15 plus 19 divided by 2 in your calculator, the answer will be wrong. The correct way to write in the calculator is 15 plus 19 divided by 2. 15 plus 19 is 34 divided by 2. The answer is 17. You can see here. After that, 20 plus 24 divided by 2. 20 plus 24 is 44 and 44 divided by 2 is 22. In the same way, you will find out the midpoint by adding 25 plus 29 divided by 2, 27, then 32, 37 and 42. Students, after constructing the column of x or midpoint, you need to construct the column of fx. How? Multiply the corresponding frequency with the midpoint. Means 3 multiplied by 17, that is 51. 5 multiplied by 22, that is 110. 8 multiplied by 27, 216. 7 multiplied by 32, 224. Then 222 and then 378. The total of fx is 1201. Students, we know that the formula of x bar equals to summation fx upon summation f. So summation fx is 1201 and summation f is 38. So x bar equals to 31.60. After that, we need to construct more columns to find out sigma square. Summation f x minus x bar whole square upon summation f. The first column we know that midpoint, and then we construct x minus x bar, then x minus x bar whole square, and this column multiplied with the corresponding frequencies. How? Let me show you. This one, the first column is class interval, frequency, midpoint. Mean should be subtracted from each and every midpoint. Means 17 minus 31.60, 22 minus 31.60 and so on. In this column, we take the square of these observations. And this is the answer of square. These values of x minus x bar whole square multiplied with the corresponding frequencies. 213.16 multiplied with this 3. So the answer is 639.48. 22 multiplied by 5 is 460.8. Then 8 multiplied with 1.16, 169.28. 7 multiplied with 0.16, 1.12. 6 multiplied with 29.16, the answer is 174.96. 9 multiplied with 108.16, the answer is 973.44. In the last, what you have to do, you add all these observations which you have got in the column f into x minus x bar whole square. Means the first observation 639.48 plus 460.8 plus 169.28 plus 1.12 plus 174.96 plus 973.44. Then in the last you will get 2419.08. So we put in the formula and summation f, you can see here 38. This is 38. Okay. The formula is summation f into x minus x bar whole square divided by summation f. 2419.08 divided by 38, you will get 63.66. For standard deviation, student, it's very easy. Just take the square root of variance. So standard deviation equals to under root sigma square, under root 63.66. So the answer will be 7.978. Coefficient of variation, which is a relative measure of dispersion. Students, it is used when we need to compare the two different kinds of data. For example, let we have two different batsmen A and batsman B. How do we decide which batsman has the consistent performer? Definitely, it is a difficult question to answer. Similarly, if a person wants to invest his money and he has a choice of three different companies, company A, company B and company C. In which company he is going to invest his money? He can decide it by calculating coefficient of variation. The company which has the least coefficient of variation, he will invest his money in that company. Now, the question arises, how do we find out the coefficient of variation? We can calculate the coefficient of variation by using the formula sigma divided by x bar multiplied by 100. Always remember, whenever you are going to calculate coefficient of variation, you have given the two different kinds of data. Okay. Which city has more stable prices? Price in city A, price in city B. For this, first we find out the coefficient of variation for city A. Then we are going to find out the coefficient of variation for city B. Okay, now move towards the solution. For city A, this is the column of x and this is the column of x square, because coefficient of variation equals to sigma upon x bar multiplied by 100, but the formula of sigma is under root summation x square upon n minus summation x upon n whole square. Students, I have calculated here the value of x square. 20 square is 400, 22 square is 484, 19 square is 361, 23 square is 529, 16 square is 256. Summation x square is 2030 and summation x equals to 100, while the value of n equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So number of observations in the data is 5. So put all the values in the formula. We have under root 2030 divided by 5 minus 100 divided by 5 whole square. So we have sigma equals to under root 6 and the value of sigma is 2.449. After that, find out the value of x bar, which is equals to summation x upon n. Summation x upon n means 100 upon 5. And 100 upon 5 means the value of x bar is 20. Now put the value in the formula. It would be 2.449 divided by 20 multiplied by 100. So the coefficient of variation for city A is 12.25%. Now we are going to find out the coefficient of variation for city B. We have x, that is 10, 20, 18, 12 and 15. Their summation is 75 and the 10 square is 100, 20 square is 400, 18 square is 324, 12 square is 144, 15 square is 225 and summation x square is 1193. Now put all the values in the formula. It would be under root 1193 divided by 5 minus 75 divided by 5 whole square. When we solve it, we will get the value of sigma is under root 13.6. So the sigma equals to 3.687. After that, find the value of x bar, that is summation x upon n, which is equals to 75 divided by 5. So the value of x bar is 15. So the coefficient of variation for city B is 24.58%. Students, now we have to comment on the result. Which city has the stable prices? How do we comment? As coefficient of variation in city A is 12.25%. Coefficient of variation in city B is 24.58. As you can see here, city A has the least coefficient of variation. It means the price of city A has more stable prices than city B. Students, now we are going towards to find out the mean and variance by using the property. Let me have a question. A set of values of variable x has mean 5 and variance is 4. Find the mean and variance of y when y equals to 3x minus 1. Students, according to the question, this mean and this variance is given for the variable x. So x bar equals to 5 and variance of x equals to 4. What we have to find out? We have to find out the value of y bar and value of y, variance of y for the variable y. How do we find out? Let's construct the data. X bar equals to 5 and variance of x equals to 4. As the equation is 3x minus 1, so we applied the property of mean directly. So y bar equals to 3x bar minus 1. Put the value of x bar equals to 5 in the equation. So y bar equals to 5 3 is a 15 and then minus 1. The value of y bar equals to 14. After that, find the value of variance of y. As y equals to 3x minus 1, so applied variance on both sides of the equation. So it will be variance of y equals to variance of 3x minus 1. Variance of y equals to variance applied on 3x and on 1. So it will be variance on 3x minus variance of 1. Variance of 3x means 3 squared into variance of x. 3 is the constant, or we can say that it is a coefficient. So when variance is applied, it will be 3 squared into variance of x minus variance of constant is 0. So variance of 1 equals to 0. So 3 square means 9 and the value of variance of x is 4. So the value of variance of y equals to 36.